Hello everyone, Merry Christmas. This is a time of year to slow down, to rest, and to connect with the people you love most.
Christmas greetings from the man at the center of a political storm. A man humiliated by his own party members, deserted by allies, but clinging on to power. There is no Christmas cheer for Justin Trudeau. He faces internal revolt and mounting pressure to resign. So what awaits Justin Trudeau? Will he resign or be forced out of office? Hello and welcome to Connecting the Dots. I'm Munmun Bhattacharya. Let's connect the dots of the political crisis facing Justin Trudeau. A growing number of Justin Trudeau's Liberal Party MPs, nearly half of the full contingent of 153, are asking for an early resignation from Trudeau so that a new leader can be elected in time for the next federal election. Here's what's been happening of late. Chrystia Freeland, once known as a strong Trudeau loyalist, abruptly resigned as Finance Minister and Deputy Prime Minister. Reason? Her opposition to Trudeau's push for spending on what she called gimmicks, such as a GST tax holiday, and the Prime Minister not taking seriously the threat of 25% tariffs from the incoming Trump administration. Her shocking announcement came hours before her scheduled fall economic update to Parliament. The budget document had indicated a budget deficit of 61.9 million Canadian dollars or $43 million for 2023-24, drastically exceeding projections. Freeland's exit was the latest in a massive exodus from Trudeau's cabinet, which has seen 8 ministers exit in recent months. What's more, Trudeau's government has lost the support of Jagmeet Singh-led NDP, a New Democratic Party that was propping up his minority government and helped it survive multiple no-confidence motions. Here's Jagmeet Singh saying Trudeau has to quit.
People are right to be angry. They've got a prime minister who's more interested in protecting his own job than defending Canadians against Trump. We've got a prime minister who's failed to defend workers from rich CEOs that the Conservatives love, who continue to rip off Canadians and drive up the cost of food and homes. So will the prime minister acknowledge he has failed? He has to quit.
Singh's party will table a no-confidence motion against the Trudeau government. This is expected in late January after the winter break of the House of Commons. This effectively means Trudeau's government will fall if he does not step down before that. Despite the writing on the wall, Trudeau presided over a cabinet reshuffle. He made a dozen changes to his cabinet and brought in 8 new ministers. But since Freeland's resignation, opposition to Trudeau's premiership has been growing within the party. And now, dozens of Trudeau's party MPs want him out. When Liberal MPs from the Ontario province met recently, over 50 of 75 of them said they no longer supported Trudeau. They feel if he stays PM, the party would face major losses in an election. That's not surprising because latest polls show that under Trudeau's leadership, the Liberal Party could be heading for its worst performance since 2011. And may not even be in a position to emerge as the official opposition. After Freeland's bombshell resignation, the party's popularity has sunk even further. And even as Trudeau grapples with low approval ratings and a growing political crisis at home, Donald Trump is adding fuel to fire. Trump has been taunting and trolling Trudeau by doubling down on his pitch to make Canada the 51st state of USA and Trudeau its governor. Trump's been saying it makes no sense for America to subsidize Canada to the tune of $100 million a year. The next Canadian Prime Minister will need to deal with Trump over his threat to impose heavy tariffs. So why has Justin Trudeau come under fire? Prices of houses are spiraling and there is increasing homelessness in Canada. The soaring housing crisis and inflationary pressures have made Justin Trudeau and his Liberal Party's ratings hit rock bottom. Also, it is no secret that Trudeau and his coterie has been playing footsie with extremist elements, adversely impacting their global image. So what happens now? Reports say Trudeau has no plans to step down over the Christmas holidays, but the Liberal Party is already planning ahead. Chrystia Freeland is considering a leadership bid. She has the support of Liberals who think she is a strong contender should Trudeau depart. Trudeau's Liberal Party is said to be examining two scenarios, both involving Trudeau's prompt departure. The first involves party MPs electing an interim leader who can then lead the Liberals into the next federal election. The second involves Trudeau okaying a change in leadership but remaining Prime Minister while the party launches a leadership race to elect his successor. That could mean Parliament being prorogued for up to 4 months, the time such a leadership contest could take. The next general election is scheduled for October 2025, but given the state of affairs, it could come as early as spring. So for Justin Trudeau, the writing is on the wall, but he refuses to see it. It's like that ostrich with its head in the sand, refusing to look the problem in the eye. Justin Trudeau is surely feeling the heat, even as he clings on to power, clutching at straws. But it is only a matter of time before his reign ends. While Trudeau's fall has been dramatic, from being the darling of global politics with glowing comparisons to John F. Kennedy 9 years back in 2015, to now fighting for his political life, Canada looks set to vote for the Conservatives led by Pierre Poilievre in the next federal election after nearly a decade. In the heart of Paris, near the famous Louvre Museum, a torchlight march took place. People gathered to condemn rape and rapists, demanding justice for all. Such demonstrations were held in other parts of the world as well. At the center of this movement is Gisèle Pelikov, a 72-year-old woman who has become a symbol of courage and resilience. A French court sentenced Gisèle's ex-husband, Dominique Pelikov, who is 72 now, to 20 years in prison for drugging and raping her for nearly a decade. He even invited strangers to rape her while she was unconscious. This case has horrified the world. But what's remarkable in this case is that Gisèle chose to waive her anonymity, bringing this trial into the open. She said, shame swaps sides, from the victim to the rapist. Listen to what she had said.
Finally, I'm thinking of the unrecognized victims, whose stories often remain in the shadows. I want you to know that we share the same struggle. When I opened the doors to this trial, I wanted all of society to be a witness to the debates that took place here. I have never regretted that decision.
The trial revealed that besides Dominique, 50 other men were also guilty of rape or sexual assault. The suspects are now aged between 27 and 74. While Dominique admitted the charges against him, most of the other men on trial denied the rape charges. Dominique Pelikov was married to Gisèle for 50 years. He had worked as an electrician and estate agent. From 2011 to 2020, Dominique was giving his wife sedatives and sleeping pills without her knowledge. He used to crush the drugs into powder and mix them into her food and coffee, making her unconscious for hours. Giselle suffered memory loss and blackouts because of the drugs. She thought she was developing Alzheimer's or had a brain tumor because of the memory gaps. Meanwhile, Dominique contacted men online and invited them to be intimate with his wife at home while she was unconscious and unaware. He even recorded videos of the serial abuse. The story doesn't end here. Dominique Pelikov was also convicted of taking indecent images of his daughter while she was asleep. The case only came to light in 2020 when a security guard in a supermarket reported Dominique to police for taking photographs under women's skirts. When police investigated, they found over 20,000 disturbing photos and videos on his computer. These files revealed horrifying secrets that he had hidden from his now ex-wife Giselle for a decade. The videos were used as evidence in court. As a result, the accused men could not challenge the allegation that they were in Giselle's room while she was unconscious. Police believe around 72 men went to the house to rape and abuse Giselle. However, not all of them could be identified. Dominique received the maximum sentence, but other men involved got shorter sentences than prosecutors had asked for. According to the French Justice Ministry, the average jail term for rape in France is 11 years and 1 month. Giselle's case exposed a shocking reality. Rape can happen anywhere, even in our own homes. The verdict has sparked a national debate in France about updating the country's rape laws. Currently, French law does not explicitly mention that sex requires consent. French President Emmanuel Macron described Giselle Pelikov as a guide for women to speak up and to fight. In a post on social media platform X, Macron said, "Giselle is an inspiration for France and the world." Giselle's story gives a strong message. Silence is not an option. Justice demands a voice. And Giselle's voice will not be silenced. A chopper landed in New York City amid heavy police deployment. And the man being escorted by police is Luigi Mangione, the suspect in the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in New York. The 26-year-old man faces murder charges, both federal and state murder charges in New York, including murder as an act of terrorism. However, he pleaded not guilty in court.
Not guilty. Not guilty.
His lawyer argued that Luigi is being treated unfairly, caught between federal and state prosecutors with conflicting theories. Listen to what Luigi's lawyer said in court.
He's a young man, and he is being treated like a human ping pong ball between two warring jurisdictions here. These federal and state prosecutors are coordinating with one another, but at the expense of him. They have conflicting theories in their indictments, and they are literally treating him like he is like some sort of political fodder, like some sort of spectacle. He was on display for everyone to see in the biggest staged perp walk I've ever seen in my career. It was absolutely unnecessary.
New York prosecutors are using a 9/11 era anti-terrorism law against Liu Ji. He could face the death penalty if found guilty of the federal murder charge. While the state charges carry a maximum penalty of life in prison without the possibility of parole. Thompson was shot dead on the 4th of December outside a New York hotel where United Healthcare was hosting an investor conference. New York police had issued surveillance images of the suspect. Police launched a massive manhunt for the suspect, who eluded police for nearly a week. Luigi was arrested at a McDonald's outlet in Altoona, Pennsylvania on the 9th of December. Police got the tip from McDonald's staff who recognized the suspect. Police found a black 3D printed pistol and a silencer in Luigi's backpack. The gun taken from Luigi upon arrest matches 3 shell casings found at the crime scene. According to the police, his fingerprints match those items he was captured on surveillance video buying shortly before the shooting and found after it nearby. According to the US Department of Justice, Luigi had traveled to New York by bus from Atlanta about 10 days before the crime. After checking into a Manhattan hostel with false identification, he allegedly performed recce near Thompson's hotel and the conference venue where the shooting took place. On 4th December, Luigi allegedly tracked Thompson, walked up behind him and fired several gunshots from a pistol with a silencer. Afterward, he fled on a bicycle. So what could be the motive behind the crime? When Luigi was arrested, police also found a 3-page handwritten text criticizing the US healthcare system.
Oh my God, that's completely out of touch and an insult to the intelligence of the American people and the lived experience.
Investigators believe Luigi appeared to be driven by anger against the health insurance industry and corporate greed. There is a theory that Luigi's back injury may have motivated him for the crime. However, police say that there was no indication that he was a client of United Healthcare. Luigi had a history of severe back pain and had surgery in 2023. After the surgery, he lost contact with friends and family for several months. Luigi comes from a prominent Baltimore area family. His grandparents were real estate developers. They owned country clubs, nursing homes, and even a radio station. Interestingly, Luigi's cousin, Nino Mangione, is a state delegate for the Maryland GOP. Luigi holds engineering degrees from the University of Pennsylvania. He attended the Gilman School in Baltimore, where he was valedictorian in 2016. Luigi gave a speech where he described his class as coming up with new ideas and challenging the world around it.
The class of 2016 is truly defined by its inventive, pioneering mentality that accompanies a strong commitment to Gilman tradition. Throughout its time here at Gilman, the class of 2016 has been coming up with new ideas and challenging the world around it.
Luigi Mangione is currently being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, New York. This is the same prison where other high-profile offenders such as rapper Sean Diddy Combs and former FTX head Sam Bankman-Fried are also being held. This incident has sparked deep public frustration with the US commercial healthcare system. The internet went crazy over Luigi.
You gotta give the people what they want, right?
Many social media users are painting Luigi as a hero. Some even compared him with Superman. Meanwhile, US President-elect Donald Trump has condemned people admiring Luigi.
I think it's a terrible thing. I think it's really terrible that some people seem to admire him, like him. And how people can like this guy is That's a sickness, actually.
Several dozen people gathered outside the courthouse to express support for Luigi and anger at healthcare companies.
I think that this was a very powerful message that was sent, and that's why there's so many people like crying out and saying he's not wrong. Violence is wrong, but the message is not. The message that our healthcare system is broken and needs to be fixed is absolutely correct.
The widespread media coverage of Luigi has sparked another debate. Many are questioning why the Western media is being so sympathetic towards him. Research shows white men who commit violent crimes, especially in high-profile cases, are often portrayed in more positive light. Studies have found that news outlets tend to focus on mental health of white perpetrators, trying to understand their motivations, while suspects from other racial backgrounds are often stereotyped. So the question remains, is Luigi's case a reflection of a deeper societal bias? That's all in this edition of Connecting the Dots. We'll see you next week with more raging issues. Until then, it's a goodbye from all of us in the Delhi newsroom. This is Munmun Bhattacharya signing off. Take care and stay safe.